Welcome to a Saturday night team update video. It's George from Fantasy Take TV. So in this video, we'll just go over how we're traveling, go over a few players that played today, and just a few general chat on Supercoach. So yeah, trades were actually quite different to the video I did, but I do update my trades on Twitter. It's just so you guys know. Not that it's that interesting, but I like to be transparent. So I brought in Will Day for McKenna, Mitchell in for Cowan, and then Sturt in for Davey. So originally I was trading Wilmot to Cogs, but I changed that to Davey to Will Day. I just figured I need more money. So I would have been happy with Cogs, but I think Day, given the cash struggles for myself, no K Chandler, which is just, I can't wait for everyone to trade him out and for him to max out so I can stop death riding, because it's very painful. So yeah, I liked Will Day's game. I like his role, and you know, he's a really good player. So nice fixture coming up too, West Coast and Freo in the next 3 weeks. So hopefully he can go around the mark, but I feel like it was a play I had to make. So Seamus Mitchell, very disappointing. Yeah, subbed off. I thought he was playing okay. He was clamping Waitman, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but that's what I thought I saw. So yeah, I guess maybe they prefer Scrimshaw in the team. They subbed him off very early. Probably could have used that for Fergus Green, who I think ran into a post and did not score after that. So obviously the highs and lows. Captains on Marshall, which was our best play. So we hit a captain, unless Dacos beats that, or Dawson. But yeah, 159 captain, so pretty happy with that. But undone the good work with our F5 and F6, where, you know, people would have like a Chandler here, or maybe they already have one of these rookies off the ground. But I think we have kind of stuffed up our loop. So I figured I wanted my best rookie on my mid bench, just in case the leader was a late out. And I thought that was Wilmot against Freo. So instead of looping Wilmot down back, yeah, I've got him as the E ready if Laird's a late out, and I'll just take the 63. But yeah, Green and Van Rooyen, yeah, just adjusted my chair by accident. Yeah, Fergus copped a knock, and even then he wasn't on for a good score. And then yeah, Van Rooyen, good matchup. Just we'll speak more about him in the weekly video. Is what it is. But so yeah, I think the team's doing not too bad. I guess the bench rookies, like we brought in Sturt, it just hasn't worked. But I wanted to, what is it, rob Peter and pay Paul sort of thing. Didn't want to rob myself of Chincotta next week if I needed a downgrade option. So I figured Sturt should keep playing, hopefully. And yeah, one of those games where he dropped 2 marks, missed 2 goals, and yeah, missed 2 set shots, passed to a teammate, he fumbles it, it's a clanger. It's just one of those games where nothing went right, then he got subbed. So icing on the cake. I think we'll quick look at our league. So I'm in a few cashies, probably bit of a donation there this year, the way we're going. But yeah, a few of these leagues, I think Hall of Fame, TV1 and Regs, I think they're the top 3 leagues at the moment, so good to be in all 3, although it might be top 5. So yeah, this is our Regs league. So these are people that we've known from the Discord from 2019 basically, and I can't read it very well, but yeah, Enno's on for a good one, a few others on for a good one. We're on for 2487, but that is with Laird projected 150, and I can't see that happening, so that would be a miracle. So I think, yeah, a lot of us here, 2400 to 2550, that sort of range. So yeah, fair few of us captained Old Roland Marshall, so happy with that. We can probably go into game day, use this AFL matches. What game should we touch on? So I watched, yeah, Brisbane vs Freo, I think we'll touch on, as you can see over here. So yeah, Lachie Neale looks like a great target, has the first buy, so he might be one if he's at the right price after his buy. Has a 170 in his system, but also has the 70 in his system, so he's one I'd like to bring in at some point. I can't justify over 600 for Neale at the moment. I don't know how I'm going to get all these expensive mids in. Like I wanted Zach Merritt. He's probably going to sit at high 500s for a bit, so I don't know how I get him in. Jack Steele, James Sicily, that's my price range at the moment. So, and yeah, going a Will Day kind of helps enable that. So hopefully that works out. Dunks was good. Ashley was exciting. I think he's got goal of the year, although I think might have been Walters also kicked a pretty good one. I think it might have been someone else, but yeah, good from Ashcroft. I was planning to get rid of him next week, and I think I've just got to squeeze a bit more money out of him. So he can be held. Wilmot 63, very good, so very happy with that. So he'll make a little bit more money, and I think with Daniel Rich out, Connor McKenna and Wilmot maybe get a bump. So McKenna should certainly get a bump in scoring, but Wilmot might play wing, he might play down back. We're not too sure. So fingers crossed he goes down back because he can score down there. And yeah, this Freo, so the defenders keep getting it done for Freo. Sarong keeps getting it done. Andy Brayshaw, 98. I have him in fantasy, and it's just a nightmare, this pick. But still, his contested rate doesn't seem to be very good. He got gifted one goal, was like Kitty Coleman thought, didn't hear the play on from the whistle, and then like Brayshaw tackled him, got a tackle, and then kicked the goal. So one of those ones where he just got a free goal. So I'm not keen on Andy Brayshaw this year until this knee issue potentially goes away. Freo are not very good anyway, so he could be a decent like M8. Like I think he'll get to sub 500, and you know, if you're really struggling for cash and you can't finish a team, he could be one you go for. But I want to hear some positive things on this knee issue. Otherwise, I'm not going near it. So that's one to keep an eye on. But he's not top 8 this year. I mean, on the way home, if he's 100%, he could be. But yeah, a few things working against him. Sydney, I probably didn't touch on Sturt as well. I think, fingers crossed, he plays and just scores something. But the big problem with Sturt is the Fremantle fixture is very not kind. Whereas you see the Melbourne and like a Chandler, although he probably goes well against anyone, but it's a lot easier when you're winning by 100 points. So Sydney versus the Giants. So this had a pretty epic ending with Toby Green kicking that goal at the end. Sydney, pretty concerning. I think top 4 might be gone for them, so probably in it for finals now. Great to see a response from Gordon. Jake Lloyd, solid again. I think he's not like the worst option. I think last week at GMHBA, always going to be tough down there for other teams. But I think we have enough good players to like not have to pick Lloyd. So like a Sicily, Sinclair, Day hopefully. So and then the Kangaroos boys. So yeah, probably not the most. Don't have to go Lloyd. Callum Mills played a bit of everywhere. Again, I watched more of the other game for some reason. Probably this game was better, but I did watch the ending. So apparently he played everywhere. Old Callum. So I'm not interested in Callum at the moment. I'd like to see a turnaround in role and DPP status. So one with a lot of potential and one where you time it right and things go right, then it could be a great one, but not quite ready just yet. Green was solid again. Heaps of tackles today. Cogs you'd be happy with. Kelly, good fourth quarter. Finn Callahan, he's starting to come good. So yeah, he'd be very nice to have on the field over Fergus Green or Van Ruin, but I didn't want to mess around with that potentially injured shoulder, and yeah, is what it is. Angwin didn't do much. Probably a pass for me. I think he's sub-risk and not sure how engraved he is in the best 22. Rouston, I think he was sub, so he's one where you just get rid of him when you can. Just going to struggle to get high game time. The Dogs versus the Hawks. I thought the Hawks would get up here, but apparently not. But I do like, I quite like what the Hawks are doing with their squad and how they're rebuilding. I think it's a lot of talent to work with. So, but yeah, good to get in some picks before Tassie come in the draft. So yeah, Bont was very good. Not the greatest captain this week, but still like you'd take a 122. I think I captained English over Bont last year, just took the 50 point last week and just took the 50 point loss. Caleb Daniel, I thought I saw him a bit in the midfield, but not really relevant. Baz was good. Thought his outside game was very good. Jack McRae, 98. That's Jack McRae. I don't think he's a 110. I think he's like a low hundreds, 105-ish for Supercoach, 95 for fantasy. English down game. It's whatever. It's one where you probably wanted to get to English if you had Grundy, and I think Grundy just about outscored him, so that's very frustrating. But that's the thing with rucks, where you want to get the main ruck in, but he's max price, so you find an alternative, but they're not a keeper either. So yeah, it's a bit of a tough one. Like you could even thought about Teakle, but I don't know if like they drop Teakle for Finlayson and Dixon. I'm not too sure what they're going to do there, so that's whatever. And that's pretty much it from the Dogs. Warple 88, pretty solid. Warple's, if he could actually lower his eyes and maybe like hold on to the ball a bit longer and maybe handle instead of boot the ball, I think he could be a 100 average player. But again, they still have a lot of names in this midfield like Newcomb, and Day was solid as well. Hardwick is a very big nuisance for Sicily, I think. So this was Sicily kicked a really pretty sick goal from outside 50. A few intercepts, which was good, but Hardwick seems to be distributing a bit more back there. So it's he's a nuisance for sure. Now, Mitch Lewis, they're not relevant for Supercoach, but man, he's a gun. Like, insanely good key forward. So, like, what he does, just crashing packs, and like his presence is enormous. I think it's like the bigger than just about any other player, maybe aside from like a Kerno or a Jezza in terms of presence in the forward line. More pretty disappointing. Saw him a bit around the ball, but yeah, just I don't think you can go there this year. Weddle was solid. Mitchell, I think you just hold and pray that he holds on and makes some more money. Has that 80 in his system for another week. So just if we can get one more game out of him at least would be nice. Weddle played more down back, so he was pretty solid. And then, young Fergus wasn't great. Didn't have his best game up against his old side. But, he's one you can just move on. So I might look to move him on this week, but he plays Freo, so such is the life of a key forward for Supercoach. They're up and down, so maybe there's a bounce back next week. But Mitch Lewis there, now he's the main target, not Fergus Green. So, one you'd be happy to let go. So, a bit scared to field him now. And then Ramsden didn't do a whole lot. I barely saw him for the whole match, but I think he did a bit of relief work in the ruck. So, monitor him for next week because he has ruck status, but it's not looking good as a Supercoach prospect. Now these two games, Melbourne versus North. Petrarca, I know a few of the boys in Discord brought him in, including JD, so very nice trade in with his fixture. Oliver wanted a bit more from him in this matchup, but you're not going to cry over 134. Pickett, nice bounce back. Chandler's killing us. I love watching him play. I'd enjoy watching him play a lot more if I had him in Supercoach, but I think he's like all Australian squad. He's been fantastic this year. Works really hard. The amount of ball he gets, like, where he just outworks his opponent and gets a mark inside 50 because like his opponent can't keep up. It's pretty good to watch. Grundy 89, same as English. Gorn 80. Probably just monitor Gorn if he gets TPP. So it might be an okay R2 if you want to get off Grundy, but because he'll be very cheap, I think Gorn might be sub 500. So if he gets forward status as well, but that's something we'll hopefully get more info. And Van Roen is pretty tragic. McVie is also relevant, but not great. But this was like the match. I didn't field Van Roen last week, and I had no interest in fielding him, but I thought this might be the game where, they win by 90 points and he gets some on the end of a few, but no. Hull was pretty good down back for the most part. All the defenders scored well, but Sheezel was really good, really prolific, few turnovers, but he looks fantastic. And then Zeeble copped a bit of an injury, went in the rooms for a bit. I think it was an ankle. I thought, oh crap, like I can't afford an injury, but especially because he's 460k, so it's pretty hard to get to someone from that position. But he came on and played really, really well. So I like him a lot as a defender. I think if he plays anyone that's a bit taller than him, he struggles with, but around his size, reads it well, good leadership back there. I do not mind him. Tom Powell injured, and Combin, poor guy. He's just had a wretched run with injury, so the talent's there with him. Just, fingers crossed he can stay fit. But that foot of his was doing right angles or leg or whatever it was, so fingers crossed he gets back or makes a full recovery soon. West Coast versus Carlton. I didn't watch this game, so I can't really comment. West Coast, no play a ton. They're a disaster, that club. Like, Gaff 48, like, oh my god. Bailey Williams is a ruck, the future 40. Up against, Pitney probably. They're a mess. Like, I don't know where you go as a West Coast. Barras 28, more of a draft, but did see some people on Twitter go him. Gimby 39, so he must be gassed. So they're a mess, West Coast. Harley Reid, welcome to West Coast maybe. Now looking at Carlton, yeah, Kerno went berserk 186, so he's probably top 6 forward after that performance. Cripps 153. You're like, yeah, they're just piling on the points here. Hewitt might be a sneaky one for fantasy because he's had a really poor last few weeks, but like I don't know if this is bait or not because of what's it called? Like this matchup is pretty nuts. So I think they like scored 2,100 Supercoach, which is incredible. So yeah, they must have not touched the ball. Walsh would have been solid, I guess, 117. Not in my price range, but did play well last week. Doc 108. He's going to be cheap. I'll probably pass. How much can you take away from this game? So what we've seen from Doherty, it's a lot of others taking the rebounds. How did McGovern go? Yeah, 44. So with McGovern back there, I don't like it. But if McGovern's doing nothing, then probably helps Doherty. Cincotta 88. So it would have been the play. Grab him this week, put him on field. I did that in fantasy last week. But yeah, it's just you never know. I didn't always worry, like, what if he plays bad? What if he gets dropped? Like, I was just too scared of... Played a bit scared. Played like a bitch. Yeah, just should have backed Cincotta in and put him on field. But, yeah, just ultra conservative. No good. Hollands just seems to get 60s every week. So he's like a fine on-field option. Fine to get rid of when you can. And that's pretty much it. Kennedy sub. I think Sard was sub, but might have been... precautionary, so pretty smart move by them. So that's how we're going. Hopefully we get 2450 or whatever. I just want to if Laird turns up and scores 90, 95, I'll take it because, given circumstances, it could even be a laid out. So yeah, I do. If he pings something, that's we're in deep shit. So almost like best case he plays and scores a ton. I think worst case he plays and pings a calf, which will not be good. I said I wouldn't get more Scotch out, take it a bit easier this year, but that might leave me with no choice if that happens. So anyway, that's all from me. Hope you're doing well, better than my forward line. So have another glance at the beautiful F5 and F6, but it's what it is. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys Sunday night.